Is this working? Can you let me know in the chat if this is functional? Hello guys. Hello to Livy. Hi Helen, Elijah. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. Imi, Erica, Stunningly. I don't know what your actual name is. Hi guys. Welcome to my live stream. So I'm not 100% sure exactly what I wanted to talk about in this live stream. I do have to leave at 2 because I have to go to track, so if you have any questions, please let me know, of course. Hello to Claudia, Mylan, Veronica, Bella and BTS, Jazzy, almost named twins. Hi guys. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm struggling to read some of these. I'm really bad at pronouncing things that aren't in my native languages. I'm sorry. Hello to Roger, Amy, Anaya, Hardika. I'm sorry, I really can't pronounce things. Okay, so let's see. Questions. This is scrolling really fast. I'm sorry. Oops. Let me try to catch something. How did you learn hand lettering? I mean, I started learning in December of 2015, and I started by reading the articles on the blog called thepostmansknock.com, and then I just kind of jumped straight into it and just did whatever I could figure out. I didn't really have a set process for it. I kind of just made my best guess on everything, and eventually it all kind of figured itself out. Can you try to speak Mandarin? I am a native speaker, I guess. I mean, I don't live in China, but my family is Chinese, so we speak it at home. 你好，我的名字是 I'm not gonna say my Chinese name because it's my legal name. 喂，你好，我是我会说中文。Okay. Alex asks, "How are you?" I am doing pretty well. I'm kind of stressed because right now I'm on spring break, winter break. I don't know, some sort of break. For some reason, we get a random break in February, but I have a lot of homework that I need to do that's due at the end of the break. So I'm kind of stressed about that, but mostly I'm doing pretty well. Could you speak French? My accent's pretty bad, but I'll try. Bonjour, je m'appelle Jasmine et j'ai appris français depuis 12 ans. I'll say 12 ans. How many languages do you speak? I speak English and Mandarin Chinese as like fluent languages, and then I'm learning French right now. I'm also kind of trying to learn Japanese, but I can barely read it at this point. Like, I'm still barely trying to learn hiragana, so. Can you speak Italian? I wish I could, but not really. Do you do math club by any chance? Hey, I recognize your username. Yeah. Although I've been missing a lot of meetings for after school things because of track. Sorry. What would you Oh, that's scrolling really fast. I lost that message. Tanim asks, what would you do differently in your next semester? Well, my next semester is junior year, and I'm honestly not at all sure how exactly I'm going to deal with that kind of stress and workload. But I guess I would aim to read more often. So this semester, I've been kind of getting into ebooks with the app Libby, not Spawn or anything. I just really like to use it. And hopefully next year, I'll be able to read more books that are for fun rather than just for English assignments. What is your current favorite mechanical pencil? I honestly don't use pencils that often, and I don't know that much about mechanical pencils. It's all kind of just subjective preference too, because I have like a very specific way I write. I write with like practically fisting the pen, and I hold it very close to the tip, so it has to be smooth there. So, I mean, the pencil I mentioned in my stationary favorites video is still my favorite. This one. How many clubs are you in? I'm in 2. I'm in GSA and math club, but math club, I'm only a member in theory because it's an after school club, but I also have track and cross country after school, so I can only go when there's no track or cross country, unfortunately. Um, this is going way too fast. Okay, let me. Ah! Oops. Okay. How can I prevent my brush pen from fraying? From Zara. Um, it's it's pretty difficult to be honest. Like I've still destroyed brush pens even though I'm experienced at brush lettering. Mostly it has to do with the angle you hold a pen at. So if you hold it like straight vertical, like this is the paper, and you press down like that, it will destroy it. While you kind of want to do it at like a 45-degree angle, you don't have to measure with protractor or anything, but at an angle, like press down like that. That way the tip will bend. Like, let me get a pen to explain this 1 second. Okay, so, um, so instead of having, sorry, okay, I have a piece of paper. Like instead of like just squishing it down, that will ruin the pen. You want to like do it like that so it'll bend with the natural way of the pen, if that makes any sense. Also, use good paper. I mean, it's hard to say exactly what good paper is, but in general, it just shouldn't have a tooth to it. So like a lot of art paper does have that. So you probably should avoid that. Can you do a room tour? My room is like a mess right now, to be honest. I just got back from a trip and I'm still unpacking, but I'll see if I can do a room tour, like an official room tour later on. Hopefully in April. We'll see. Um, do you play a musical instrument? From Claudia. I played the piano for 7 years, but I quit because I'm not that big on it, especially because piano is so demanding. Like there's so much theory, there's so much music that you need to learn and all that. And now I can kind of play the ukulele. That's what I'm learning right now, but I'm not that great at it. I've been learning for about 2 years, but I'm still not that great. Um, how old are you? A lot of people ask that. I am 15 and I'm a sophomore in high school. Um, oh my gosh, this is going way too fast. Sorry. Um, Oops. Okay. Sorry. I'm using the YouTube app and I've never used this before, so I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. What uni do you want to go to? I didn't catch the name. Sorry. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't have a dream school or anything. I think of college as more of a stepping stone rather than like an end goal. It's a way to get an education and to learn skills and to meet other people. I guess I'd prefer to stay in California, which is where I currently live, just because it'll be cheaper. Um, Serena asks, "Do you like K-pop?" I'm I've never really gotten into it. I mean, a lot of my friends listen to it and they say that getting obsessed with K-pop is a thing that consumes your entire life. So I kind of want to avoid getting obsessed with even more things. Um, what languages? Oh, sorry, I'm trying to read. Nishat, sorry about that, asks, what languages would you like to learn? I. Oop, okay, got it. I'd like to learn Italian because opera music is like really fun. That sounds okay. I know it sounds kind of lame, but I do like opera music, and it'd be pretty cool if I could actually understand it. I also want to learn Japanese because I just first of all, I'm going to Japan in April, and I also really like. I hope this doesn't make me sound like a weeaboo or something, but I really like Japanese culture, like their food and their stationery and other aspects of that. Do you recommend Muji notebooks or paper? They're pretty good. I mean, I haven't used it recently, so I can't say for sure, but I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, okay, I have the loose leaf paper and I use it a lot and I like it, but I can't speak specifically to the notebooks right now. Um, Tutos Marie asks, can you say something in Spanish? I don't know any Spanish. Hola, I guess. Um, Oops, I lost the name there. Fizza Gayer asks, favorite ice cream. I honestly don't eat ice cream that often. I'm lactose intolerant, but I can technically eat ice cream, just not a lot of it all at once. So I guess chocolate, pretty basic. Um, Daniel asks, what is your favorite pen besides the Sarasa or Energel? I honestly don't have a third favorite. I mean, those are my top two, and that's about it. I guess the Uniball Signo. Uh, Moai asks, what form of stationery should I get for my birthday? That's a really hard thing to pick. It depends on what you really want, like what you need to use. So if you use pencil a lot, you should get a pencil. If you use pens a lot, you should get a pen. You can check out my stationery favorites video for recommendations of my top things from every category or just everything. Um, I'm sorry, that kind of didn't make sense. Okay, are you going to keep this live stream on your channel after it's over? I want to. I think it should auto post to my channel, but I know last time that I live streamed, it disappeared for some reason. Hopefully it'll actually stay on this time. Kat asks career goal. Also, no clue. I feel like I should have some idea of what I need to, like, what I want to do in the future, but I can't, I don't really know. I like a lot of things and maybe I'll pick something in the future, but right now I'm just kind of doing whatever I enjoy and maybe I'll find something later. Um, this is scrolling so fast. Sorry. Okay. Um, Jocker's Trail asks, can you solve a Rubik's Cube? No. I mean, I tried it once a couple of years ago with one of those videos for like the spinning thing and it took me like 2 hours. I'm not that great at Rubik's Cube. Um, Christina asks, what do you do if you're trying to get better in school and stay organized? I mean, doing well in school is a huge topic and it's I honestly don't know exactly like the secret ingredient or the couple of exact steps that you should do well in school. It really just depends on you've got to do your assignments well or at least to the best of your ability. You have to study so that you know the things that way you can do well on the tests. I mean, that's pretty much it to be honest. How much do you study on a daily basis? It depends on the day, but in general, I would say I have about 2 to 3 hours of homework, and then I study for anywhere between 1 to 3 hours. How do you organize schoolwork, please? From Abdesamed. I'm gonna butcher all of these names. I'm really sorry. Okay, let me get my folder. 1 second. Oops. Okay, I have this expanding file folder, which is from Target, and in here I have these tabs and all the papers. I hope these don't fall. If you can see that. There we go. Kathleen asks, would you consider doing personal videos about you and your life? I mean, to be honest, my life is very boring, so probably not. There's not much to tell about it. I've done a couple of vlog style videos, so I have one called 168 Hours in My Life and one called A Day in My Life, which was pretty recent. And those give you a pretty good idea of what my life is generally like because all I do is go to school. Kennedy asks, do you wear makeup? No, I honestly don't have time in the morning. I think it's pretty cool, as an art form, but I don't really have time to do it. What college are you in? I'm actually in high school, so no college. This is going really, really fast. Okay. Stunningly asks, how long have you had braces? I've had them since April of 2017, so that's about 8 months. Someone asked, Karen asks, book recommendations. I have a book recommendations page on my Goodreads, which Well, currently I just finished the book Heartless by Marissa Mayer, and it was very good, so I would recommend that. And I'll try to find more on my Goodreads and put them in the description once the stream is over. Leah asks, what classes are you taking and what is your favorite? The classes I'm currently taking are Honors Physics, English 10, which is like 10th grade English, Yearbook, Honors Pre-Calc, AP European History, and French 2. And I don't really have a favorite, to be honest. I guess math or yearbook. Yeah, let's go with both of those. Um, Yasmin asks, "What are your favorite colors or favorite color?" I really I like a lot of colors. I'm pretty visual and I like colors a lot, so I don't have one set favorite that's always my favorite. So currently, I really like this red, like these types of red, maroony, burgundy-ish colors. But normally, like when people ask me what's your favorite color as kind of an introduction question thing, I answer blue. Um, Hello Spring asks, how long is your hair? It's to my when it's braided, it's to here. Normally, when it's down, it goes to like the middle of my bicep. Brianna asks, do you have a tiger mom and have you ever failed a test? I don't have a tiger mom. I'm pretty lucky in that. I know the stereotype is that Asian American moms are pretty tough. My mom is very nice, and I guess she tells me that it's because she trusts that I do what I need to do, and so far I have done everything I need to, so she doesn't have to yell at me or anything. I have never failed a test, although I've gotten a D on a quiz before. I don't know if that counts as failing, but Isadora asks advice for studying biology and history. I've only taken one biology class, so I honestly don't know much about how to study biology. The way I did it was doing the practice tests that were in my biology textbook. That was last year. I also did a lot of diagrams, so I would draw. So for biology, there's a lot of things you need to memorize, like cycles or and stuff like that. So I would take the diagrams for my notes and just draw them out on my whiteboard, which is, you might have seen it in a couple of my study with me videos, and then fill it in from memory and then correct what was wrong. For history, I'm not the greatest at studying for history either, to be honest. The main way I would do it is flashcards for the most important dates or people. Well, for specifics, I'm taking AP Euro right now, and the course framework tells us like exactly which dates and people you actually have to memorize. So I do flashcards for that, and then for everything else, I use the review questions that are in the textbook. You might have noticed a trend that I like using review questions and practice questions and things like that. Sirius Black asks, what is your favorite clothing brand? I don't really have a favorite clothing brand. I mean, clothes aren't that important to me, to be honest, because I wear pretty much the same thing every day, which is a t-shirt and then jeans or leggings. Elizabeth asks, what got you into studying? I've, as far as I can remember, I've always studied. I think so. I mean, I can remember school as far back as third grade, and in elementary school, I didn't really study because elementary school. And then in middle school, once that started being more important, I just did. That's such a bad explanation. I'm so sorry. Noah asks, how do you deal with having a lot of stationery? Honestly, I have my pencil case, which is in my backpack. I have a cup on my desk, and I have a box, which is on my bookshelf. And then I know in my stationery collection video, I showed my stands for the Tombow dual brush pens and those alcohol-based markers, but I've since like gotten rid of a lot of those. I haven't gotten rid of them yet. They're going to be in giveaways sometime soon, so look forward to that, I guess. But they all go on either my bookshelf, in the cup on my desk, or in my backpack. Amir asks, have you... I think that was Amir. Let me scroll back. Amit, sorry. asks, have you tried brush pens from Daiso? When I went to Daiso the last time in my haul and review video, there weren't any brush pens there, so no, I have not. Study with Cassie asks, when starting a study YouTube, how should I start? I mean, I've only started once, so I don't know the best way to do it, but I think the best way to start is to just post a video and then keep posting videos. I know a lot of people expect there to be some magic ways that allow people to get more popular or things like that, but there honestly isn't. I mean, I just post a lot of things and hope for the best. Morgan Farr asks, any tips for presenting? I'm pretty bad at presenting, so I can't really help, but on my Tumblr, which is studyquill.tumblr.com, I've reblogged a lot of tips on public speaking, so you can use the search function on my Tumblr blog to find those. GB Production asks, what classes are you taking next year? I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm thinking, so for math, I'm going to take either AP Calc AB or BC because I'm currently taking pre-calc, so next I have to take calculus. For English, I'm not exactly certain which level of English I'm going to go for. At my school, there's regular, honors, and AP language. I'm not sure which one. I'll probably need to ask a teacher for that. I need to take French 3 because that's the only option. For history, I'm going to take APUSH, AP US history, and then yearbook. What class is left? Science, I'm really not too sure. And then I think that's everything. Yeah. Sorry. This is going way too fast. Horizonte asks non-smudge pen recommendations. I think the Energel is really good for not smudging, and if you want something that smudges the least, but it's not as good, like it's not as smooth, is the Zebra Sarasa Dry. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. Anea asks, how do I raise my math grades from an A to a B? I honestly don't know how to raise a grade specifically, but I think the best way to improve a grade in general is to, okay. So like see what you're struggling in the most. So maybe it's tests, maybe it's quizzes, maybe it's a final exam. I guess you only have one of those, so that doesn't count. Or assignments, homework, presentations, things like that. And then identify what is your main struggle and then work on that thing. So if it's, for example, projects, then you would like probably need to ask your teacher for feedback or something on your project as you're working on it, or ask someone else to help you. If it's something like tests, then you'll have to focus on studying in particular. As a day asks, what type of correction tape would you recommend? I really like the Tombow Mono correction tape, but I don't really use it because it's really expensive, and my parents get correction tape, like Office Depot correction tape, from their like office workplace, so I just use that. Jake's Awake asks, what is the best prep book in your opinion? It really depends on the subject, so I recommend Googling around for reviews for your particular subject. Anne asks, do you have Pinterest? Yes, I do have Pinterest. I don't have a study quill Pinterest. I have my own personal Pinterest. It's, I prefer not to link it directly from study quill since it's related to my school. But if you want to know my Pinterest, you can message me on Instagram, I guess. Anushka asks, what science are you taking? I'm taking honors physics. Holographics YouTube asks, what are your 3 studying essentials? I was actually working on a video about this earlier in the day, so I think that's coming out on March 9th. Well, you can look forward to seeing a video about studying essentials in particular. I guess my top three would be the Quizlet website, my notes, and a black pen. Pablo asks, how do you study physics? Mostly with practice questions. I study for pretty much everything with practice questions, and most of them come from the textbooks. Irene asks, what do you like about YouTube? I like being able to make videos and then share them with other people. I think it's pretty cool that I can make things that are just like fun for me to make. I don't know exactly how to explain it. Like, I kind of feel like just a small nobody sitting in my room, and then I just make cool things that I like to make. Let me just plug in my phone. Oh, okay. And then it's kind of cool that it can like influence so many people and help them, I guess. Hopefully it helps in some way. Jalo asks favorite YouTubers. My friend So from TBH Studying, really good. Cheyenne Barton, Study IGN, or Serena from Study Igen. I don't know, beats me. Also, let's see. My Life in a Bullet, Amanda, Rachel, Lavender, Michelle B, just a lot of people. You can check out my subscriptions list on my channel. Oh, this is going very, very fast. Okay. Riley asks, what is your favorite part about track? I really like the whole team aspect of it. I mean, I guess, of course, I like to run. That's why I joined it. But also, like, the whole being with other people and suffering together. I'm not that competitive, so the whole winning part isn't a big deal to me. Maisie Williams asks, Hogwarts house. I'm in Ravenclaw. Ayana asks, do you like to learn about Native American culture? Honestly, the only time I've ever heard about it was in 4th grade when we learned about it, but besides that, our school system doesn't really teach it to us at all, which kind of sucks. I would like to learn more about it, but I don't have that much free time, unfortunately. But during the summer, maybe. If you have any book recommendations about that, definitely let me know. Emma Maxwell asks, favorite ruled notebooks? I guess I'd go with the Kikuyu Campus notebooks. Those are my favorite notebooks pretty much ever. And they do come in regular rule that's not dotted. Is this still working? Okay. Brianna asks, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? So originally I posted on Tumblr, which was studyquill.tumblr.com. It still is. And I wanted to show what was in my pencil case, but the Tumblr format is either a picture or a blog post style format, so it's hard to show what's in your pencil case. So I made a video of it instead, and I posted it, and then I found out that making videos is really fun, so I just kept making videos. Poon asks, what cheap bullet journals would you recommend? I guess, I'm not sure exactly how you would define cheap, but you can get a lot of good notebooks from Daiso, which are all $1.50. I guess that's my recommendation. This chat just stopped working all of a sudden. Okay, there we go. Sofika asks, do you speak French fluently? No, I don't. I've only learned it for 2 years so far. This is scrolling way too fast. I'm really sorry to keep pausing. Favorite singer? That's really difficult. I like a lot of these things about favorites are very hard for me to answer because I like a lot of things and I don't have one absolute favorite. I guess current fave is Dodie. It's very good. Olivia asks, why do you prefer the Pentel Fude Touch Brush Pen over the Fudenosuke brush pens? I just prefer their texture, if that makes any sense. Like, they're a little bit more flexible and they're a little inkier, so I personally prefer the way that feels. Emma, 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 let me double check that. I'm really sorry if that's wrong, asks, what computer do you use? I use this Dell computer. Let me grab it right now. Oh gosh, okay. It's okay, it didn't break. I use this Dell computer. I don't know what the model is. I mean, it's just the one that was available at Costco last year. I think it's linked in my Tumblr FAQ, which is studyquill.tumblr.com/owlery, so you can check that for a link. Neela asks, what ballpoint pen do you recommend? I think I'd go with the Pentel RSVP. Amanda asks, are all of your notes neat and pretty? I mean, define neat and pretty, I guess. Like, not all of them look the way... Like, not all of them look perfectly Tumblr-worthy, Instagrammable, that kind of thing. But they're all neat and readable and functional. Okay, this just stopped working for a second. Let me fix this. Elijah asks, when is it okay to start a bullet journal? You can start whenever you like. It doesn't matter when. I think I started my first bullet journal in February? Yeah, February. And most people start at either the beginning of a school year or at the beginning of a calendar year, but it really doesn't matter. Okay. How do you have time for homework during track season? How do you do your homework so fast? I'm honestly not sure exactly how to answer that. I mean, basically, I get home, I eat dinner, and then I just start working on my homework, and I just keep going until either I'm too tired or until I finish. I guess my main tip would be to use the Pomodoro method if you struggle with focusing and allocating time. Bianca asks, are you into any performance arts? I guess I play the ukulele, although it's kind of just for fun. I don't really perform for anyone. I also do choir outside of school, which is fun. Lila asks, have you studied for the SAT? I have not started yet, although I probably should get started on that because next year I'm going to be taking it. Next school year, which is my junior year. Maisie asks, where is one country you want to visit? I guess my current top country that I want to visit is Japan, and I will be going there this year, which is really exciting, so yeah. Ethan asks, do you use a binder for any classes? No, I don't. Previously, I've had to use a binder for a few classes if my teacher requires it, but this year none of them do, so luckily I don't have to carry around a really heavy binder. Will you vlog when you go to Japan? I lost the name, one second. Hi Victoria, oh I love your channel. Asks, will you vlog when you go to Japan? I don't think I will. I don't want to bring a camera with me because I don't want to risk losing it or damaging it, but if I buy a lot of stationery, I'll do a haul. Book you are reading right now? Valeria asks, I'm currently reading Goodbye Things. Let me Google the author's name. It's Goodbye Things, The New Japanese Minimalism by Fumio Sasaki. Shakur asks, what AP classes have you taken? I've never finished one. I'm only a sophomore and I wasn't able to take any in freshman year, and I'm currently taking just one, which is AP European History. Ryan and Emma both asked tips for digital notes. I think Google Docs is really great for digital notes. You can type it, and then there's also Google Drawings, which you can add in, which is for diagrams or pictures or anything that's like drawn instead of typed out. And then I don't have any specific tips because I don't do them very often. Chat just suddenly went really, really fast. Mithrellas asks, do you play piano? I do. I mean, I guess I did. Don't really do it as much anymore because I don't take lessons anymore, but I think I still can play. I hope I still can. How do you make time for reading, and how do you snap out of a funk? I don't really make time for reading, I guess. I don't do it in my free time per se, but I do it whenever I have an empty chunk of time because I have ebooks on my phone and my phone is always with me. So if I'm waiting for the bus or if I'm waiting in the lunch line or something, I'll just pull up my phone and read on my phone. Valeria asks, which subject do you have more difficulties with? I think my hardest subject is probably English. I'm just not that great at analyzing literature. I'm working on that right now. I forgot to answer about snapping out of a funk. It's hard for me to say exactly. I mean, I don't really force myself to like snap out of it. I kind of gradually go up from there, and it's kind of just like when I'm at the bottom, I like take care of myself and I don't force myself to do too many things, and then I kind of work my way up from there, like add a little bit more and a little bit more until I get to like my normal level of productivity or motivation and things like that. How do you take your notes from school? I have a video about most of these things, so... Wait, no, I only have one about history, actually. So I have a video about how I take history notes. I also used to have a video about how I take math notes, but that one got removed for copyright reasons because I used copyrighted music. Whoops. Basically, the way I do it for physics is excuse me, I copy down the examples that the teacher gives, and if there's any definitions from the textbook that I want to add in later, then I just write down the word, and then I'll flip through the textbook later and write them in. And then for English, we don't really have notes. We don't have notes for yearbook either. For math, I don't know how many of you guys watched that video, but basically I just write down everything that my teacher writes down because she writes the information on the board. And then specifically, I use a gray pen to write down examples because examples are really important for how I personally like to learn. For history, I have a video about that. And then for French, it's basically I copy down the example sentences. If there are any vocab words, I will copy those down as well. Alina asks, what do you do in your free time? That's hard. I don't have that much free time, unfortunately. I like to read. Hopefully I could read more. I also like calligraphy and watercolor art and all that stuff that you might have seen on my Instagram. That just disappeared. Study with Cassie. Cassie asks, is it okay for me to do my own notes for my classes if I can't understand my teacher? That just stopped working. Okay. Yes, of course. I mean, it's really about what you think will work best for you. I can't speak to every individual circumstance or every other individual subject or teacher or anything. That just disappeared. Say Hey asks, comment es-tu productive le matin? How are you productive in the morning? I am a natural morning person, so it's easy for me to be productive in the morning, and it's hard for me to be productive at night or in the evening, so I can't really speak. As far as being productive when you're not really motivated, it's not really... There's not quite something... I can't quite put my finger on it, but basically, you just force yourself to do the thing, even if you don't want to do it. Oh, this is not good. Okay, my phone is now plugged in. Opinion on friction highlighters. I think they're pretty good. I have a couple, since I got them for a PR thing from Stationery Store Co. I don't like they're good, but they kind of have a like I don't know how to explain it exactly, but they kind of if you wrote with black pen, it kind of makes the pen look gray. But I do sometimes use them because I already have them, so I don't want to waste them. Also, I use them for studying choir music as I can highlight the parts I have trouble with and then erase that part later. Laura asks, "Do you speak Spanish?" I don't I learned Spanish at my old elementary school, but I don't remember any of it. I know how to say like "Hola, cómo está," but that's about it. Um, Ellie asks, "Why do you prefer loose leaf instead of a notebook?" It's I'm not exactly sure why, to be honest. It's just what I prefer, some inherent reason. I also like being able to switch the order of the notes if I want to add in a page or remove something or flip things around. Um, do you read and write Chinese? Sijia? I'm not sure how the accents would be on your name, so I'm gonna guess. I can't really write it, to be honest. Like, I can read and write at the level of a small child. I The reason I know Chinese is because we speak it around the house, but I haven't really had a reason to learn to read and write. Um, Grace asks, "Is the Kokio campus paper smooth?" Yes, it is. Top 10 Netflix shows. I don't really watch Netflix. Like, I don't have a Netflix subscription, so I can't really answer the question. I don't really have any top favorite TV shows either. I don't watch TV regularly since I have way too much schoolwork to do. I do like cooking shows though. Um, Emily asks, "How can you take notes faster?" I have a video about that, which is called "How to Take Notes Faster," so you can search it. There's a search bar on the channel page. Fighting asks, "How much do you sleep?" I sleep for somewhere between 7 to 8 hours each night. Hopefully, like on a good day, a really ideal day, I would sleep for 9 hours, but that doesn't really happen. Who is your greatest inspiration? I'd go with Hermione Granger. She's my icon on this channel. She's just amazing. Have you watched any anime? Asks Henry. I've watched a few, but I never really got into it. I like the kind of thing that you can play in the background while you're doing something else, like YouTube videos. And it's hard to watch anime in the background because I don't understand excuse me. I don't understand Japanese, so I can't really do that. Tips for track beginners? Mm, no, to be honest. I mean, I don't really like to give tips on sports or running necessarily because if something that works for me might not work for you, and I'm not a certified sports coach or anything, so I don't want to accidentally hurt you guys. So I guess just don't don't strain yourself too much. It's better to take a few if you feel injured, ask your coach for help, and it's better to take a little bit of time off and maybe not improve quite as quickly as you want than it is to go really hard and hurt yourself and then end up injured. Olivia asked, "What program do you use to edit your videos?" I use Adobe Premiere Pro. um Maisie, I can't speak. Maisie asks, "What time is it where you are right now?" It is currently 1:45, and I live in California, so it's Pacific Standard Time. Neil asks, "What would you say to a younger you?" I guess I'd say, don't worry so much. It doesn't I even when I was in fifth grade, I was really stressed out about tests for some reason, even though I was in fifth grade. It's not that big a deal. Lataja asks, do you have any siblings? No, I'm an only child. Pretty great. It means no one's gonna barge in on me in this live stream. Zara asks, how do you have such minimalist handwriting? Mine is sloppy and mine is sloppy cursive, and I don't know how to get away from that. I have a video about how to get neat handwriting, or something to the gist of that, about changes you can make that make your handwriting easier to read. Maja's Bullet asks favorite Bujo spread, which is bullet journal, for those of you who are not familiar with that. I guess my favorite spread is my books read spread. Let me find that right now. Here it is. I really like this spread. Here's my year in pixels as well. Ski, sorry for that, asks tips for stress relief. I have a video about how to de-stress. A lot of things I have videos about, you just have to use the search bar and try a bunch of different terms, because the search bar doesn't work that well for relevant phrases, so you'd have to try a bunch of different things. What subjects do you use Quizlet to study? I use Quizlet for French vocabulary words, and for history, like important vocab or terms or dates or people. Ana asks any recommendations. I really do like to read, and I have some recommendations on my Goodreads, which is Jasmine Shao. I don't know if it's linked anywhere, but let's see. Recommendations. I really liked Heartless by Marissa Mayer, which I read recently. What's your favorite thing about school? Asks Amna. I like the whole learning new things aspect of it. I specifically like learning the things. I don't like tests because they're stressful. Farah Yan asks, how long does it take to write your notes? Most of my notes are notes that I take in class, so that takes me the same amount as the class period. For notes that I take outside of class, that's pretty much only history, and that would take me about half an hour for 10 pages about. Study with, oh, that just disappeared. Study with Casey asks, what apps do you use to read textbooks online? I don't really read textbooks online per se, since none of my textbooks are easily available online. I think OpenStax is a website where you can get textbooks, and Google, I suppose. What is your favorite mild liner highlighter color? I think it's the gray one. Either the gray, the regular gray, not the dark gray, or the purple. Let me get those. These two. I think gray is my favorite. Lizette asks, what made you get into Bujo? Which is, again, bullet journaling. I can't really remember, to be honest. I think I went to the official bullet journal website, which is bulletjournal.com. I found that very inspiring. And then from there, I found Bohoberry, who was featured on the site, and then I watched more. Like, I watched her videos, and then I found more bullet journal videos, and then I found bullet journal Instagrams, Tumblrs, and so on. Emma asks, do you like to garden? I have a plant on my desk, which is this succulent. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not very consistent with watering plants, so I don't really attempt to garden. But so far my succulent is alive, so I guess. Elizabeth asks, what do people think of your notes/channel? I mean, no one really says anything to me about my notes, so I can't say for sure, but about my channel, a lot of people at my school think it's cool, I guess. Like, people mention it to me, but it's never in a expressly negative way. It's always like, oh, you have a YouTube channel, that's a thing that's there. And some people are kind of weird about it, like try to get me to give them a shout out or something, which is kind of awkward to me. But most people are nice about it. Um, Emma asks, do you have any pets? I used to have a guinea pig, but it recently died, so not anymore, unfortunately. Kathleen asks, if you have no school, when do you start and when do you stop studying? I usually start right after breakfast, since, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a morning person and I'm more productive and motivated in the mornings. And then after that, I keep going until lunch, and then on how much I have left, I'll keep going if I need to, or I'll just stop. Joanne asks, what are you going to do today? So today, I just finished filming for a video about my studying essentials, and then after this, I am going to edit the video. I don't know whether I'll finish before track practice, but I do have track at 3:20. And then I'll get back probably around 5:30, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do actually. Probably still have some more homework to do. What classes do you recommend taking from Haley? It honestly depends on the person. I mean, I don't know for sure for each individual person, but I think taking like core classes, so math, English, history, and science, or social studies, not necessarily history, for all 4 years of high school is good. That's the common wisdom I hear a lot. Uh, Abs is not normal asks tips on balancing school and sports. This I get asked a lot about balancing things, and I'm honestly not sure exactly what that means. Like there's a set amount I have to do for each of those regardless of how I plan them. So I'm not clear exactly what that means. The way I describe it is I write everything, like I have everything scheduled out exactly as I need to. So for sports, I might have practice for a certain amount of time, and then a meet for this amount of time, and then the rest of the time I'll just fill in with this is the homework assignment I need to do. Studying. Um, Emma asks if I can recommend IB classes. I don't have IB, so anyone who has questions about IB, I can't really answer them, unfortunately. Can you make a dollar store video from Holographics YouTube? I don't have a dollar store near me. I'd probably have to go downtown to find one. So I'll see if I can do that anytime soon. I'll do my best. Uh, all the questions are disappearing. Matt asks, can you try to explain the US school system? So basically, kindergarten, which is like 0th grade, until 5th grade is elementary school, and that's where you learn basic things, and you have one teacher the whole time. You stay with the same group of people the entire day. And then starting in middle school, which is 6th through 8th grade, I know this differs from some districts or locations, but at least for my area, 6th to 8th grade is middle school, and then you start having different classes each day. So basically, for each subject, you're with different groups of people, you're with a different teacher for each subject. And then for 9th through 12th grade, it's the same way of switching between classes, I guess, different groups of people with a different teacher. And then you also have more flexibility in choosing which kind of classes you want to take. So you can choose honors classes, AP, you can do the IB diploma, and a bunch of things like that. A lot of people ask if I'm a A student or an A plus student or an A star student. I don't really want to answer things like this because it's not really about me and my grades. Like, this channel is not about me showing off necessarily. It's about me giving advice to help you guys. So if you want to know more about my grades, of course, you can DM me on Instagram, I guess, but it just feels like something that's private, of course. Uh, okay. This question thing just stopped working. Oh, okay. Stacy asks, do you have snow days in California? And if so, what do you do on those days? I mean, it doesn't snow in the area where I live, so I don't have any. Abdesamed asks, how to start organizing in the middle of the year. I think organizing in the middle of the year is harder than it is at the beginning of the year, since at the beginning of the year you just need to set up your system and then continue putting things into it as time passes and you get more papers and things. But in the middle of the year, you kind of set up your system first and then just put everything into your system, pretending as if you're just getting it right now. Amber asks, why are you not at school today? I am on break from school since our school gives us a week off in the middle of February for some reason. I'm not complaining, but I don't know exactly why. So that's why I don't have school today. Ritika asks, what career do you see yourself doing? It's not really. I really have no clue for things like my college major, where I want to go, what I want to major in, what career. That's a very bad answer, I suppose. I mean, would it be fun for you to be a teacher? I I don't really think I'd be a good teacher, to be honest. I can't explain things very well in a simple way because I can only think of like when I understand something, I understand it in one certain way, and I can't really figure out how to like find other ways to explain it. Least favorite classes asks Letitia. I I don't think I have a least favorite. I guess if I had to pick, I'd go with English just because it kind of I don't enjoy being forced to read something. I enjoy reading for fun, but not something I have to read. It's currently 2, so I think I need to go now, but I will hopefully catch up with you guys in a future live stream, or feel free to message me on Tumblr or Instagram. And yeah, bye!